Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we have another offseason rebuild, and today we have the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks went 41-41 over the regular season. They ended up taking on the Miami Heat in the first game of the play-in. They beat them, which gave them the 7th seed. They ended up facing the Celtics in round 1. Did lose in 6 games, but let me just say this. As a Celtics fan, that series was a lot more stressful than I really thought it was going to be. I think game 1 kind of said, I don't really think this Atlanta Hawks team really belongs here. And they turned it around. I give them a ton of credit. Trae Young really stepped up his game when it mattered most. Ultimately, they didn't get the W in that series, but this team definitely is building a really, really decent roster. So I like it a lot. 2K's obviously a big fan of this team, as I'm sure many of you know. Obviously, our goal today is to get them a championship. And a couple final things before we do get into this video. After this Atlanta Hawks rebuild, we only have 2 offseason rebuilds to go in terms of the teams that have already been eliminated. So you guys will see that one on Thursday and then Friday, whatever order I decide. That is the San Antonio Spurs and the Washington Wizards. I promise you those will be the teams we do Thursday and Friday. I'm also pre-recording a bunch of videos. I have a bunch of things to do this week. I have an event I have to go to on Thursday. So we're pre-recording some things. If anything major happens in the league, I do apologize. But other than that, we obviously are going to be getting into some other rebuilds. We're going to have some teams that are going to get eliminated soon from the postseason. We'll get into all those, along with some other video ideas I definitely do have. But I do want to hear your ideas as well. Let me know down below. But that's just been a long enough intro, man. Let's get into this one. So as we always do, we'll go over the team's roster and what it currently looks like right now before we make any moves. And I do like this roster. I really do. And more importantly, 2K really likes this roster. We have Trae Young. He's a 93 overall at 24 years old. Like 99.9% chance he goes anywhere. There's really not a situation. I can see that he gets traded. He plays extremely well in this game. He's a good player. Aaron Holiday is a decent backup option. We could look to upgrade that at some point in time. I also didn't know he was 26. Thought he was a little younger, to be completely honest. DeJounte Murray obviously came over in a trade from the San Antonio Spurs, and it was a costly one. I mean, it was definitely an expensive price to pay. And there have been some moments where DeJounte Murray looks really good, and there's some moments where DeJounte Murray doesn't look so good. So for me, I still think there's another level to his game that he really has to kind of tap into. I do think he's a good player, and I hope to build around him next to Trae Young. So we will see. But 26 years old, 86 overall. Bogdan Bogdanovic might hit the most annoyingly timed three-point shots in the history of basketball. I swear to God, I'd watch my Celtics go on a run, and they'd be like up like 6 or something, and I think, hey, we're finally getting away with it. And Bogey would just hit 2 threes from fucking outer space. I mean, I don't know. It's just very timely and very annoying. Also, a sneaky 30 years old. I did not know he was 30, but yeah, we'll see. Garrison Matthews probably will not be getting much playing time here. DeAndre Hunter, I'm a fan of. He's on a 4-year, $90 million deal, so that's definitely a lot of money. He's got to live up to the contract, ultimately. I mean, he's not necessarily maybe what you exactly were hoping for in a number 4 overall selection, but he's been a decent player. Ultimately, we will see if he's a long-term answer for us at our small forward spot. I'm a big AJ Griffin fan. I want to develop him. He's only 19 years old. We have Vit Krejci and then Tyrese Martin here as well. Power forward spot. I know there's a lot of controversy almost, if you will, just, around John Collins and his future in Atlanta. John Collins, definitely, I'll give him credit. He opened the series with some really tough games against the Celtics and then really kind of turned it up a little bit when it mattered the most. So I know Atlanta Hawks fans aren't typically the biggest fans of John Collins, but we will see. It's going to be an interesting decision, but he is an 81 overall, and he is locked up on, I think that's 2 years left on his deal. So we'll see. Sadiq Bey, I believe, was a trade deadline acquisition. I'd like to get him back, and then Jalen Johnson. So a lot of power forward depth here. That's a really, really good issue to have. Center spot, Clint Capella, great rebounding center. He is 29 years old. He's on a 2-year, $42, almost $43 million deal. We have Onyeka Okongwu here, who's 22. He's going to ask for a lot of money in free agency. I've done a lot of Hawks rebuilds, and I know how this works, so we'll see. And we have Bruno Fernando as well. So that's the roster. I know that was a little bit of a lengthy, overview of what this team's looking like right now, but I really do think there's a lot of big decisions to be made in terms of this Atlanta Hawks team. So want to know what we get ourselves into. Looks like Portland has officially won the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes. They take number 1 overall. We have 15. I just saw it right there in terms of staff signing. Quinn Snyder's a good head coach, in my opinion. He has really good ratings, as you can see. I don't really plan from moving on from him, so he'll be here. Up to the NBA draft right now, as I mentioned, I believe I saw we have the 15th overall selection. Just want to confirm. And we also have 16 in round number 2 from the New Orleans Pelicans. So we don't have a ton of future assets down the line. Obviously, a lot of these picks were used in the trade to get DeJounte Murray. So that's definitely something I'm going to be focused on down the line, is going ahead and reacquiring assets in order to kind of hopefully build back up this team at some point. So 15th overall pick is not bad. I will definitely use it this year. Could get a depth piece, whether it's a new backup point guard. I don't really know what else we could use it for because there is some decent depth on this team. But I'm just going to look, see who's available for us here at number 15. Greg Dickey's here. Carson Wallace is here. Definitely an option for me. Again, I don't necessarily think the worst idea in the world would be finding myself a new backup point guard. So, you know, why not? We're going to go ahead and we're going to take Carson Wallace. Welcome to the team. I have no idea what overall he is. I don't think I've ever drafted him before. He's a 75 overall. It's honestly not too bad. So, bogey accept. We're bringing back Okongwu. We're bringing back Bay. We're bringing back Johnson. I'm bringing back everybody. It's an unrealistic rebuild. All right. Free agency. I don't think Trent Forrest or Donovan Williams are going to be getting qualifying offers for me. And then we take a look at our free agency. Really don't have anybody. So, at this point in time, I think there is obviously some decisions to be made if we want to run back the majority of this roster, or do we want to make an upgrade somewhere, potentially this power forward spot. I mean, it is kind of weird to see what happens. I mean, this is not a good trend. You know, you never want to see a guy's numbers going down year by year. I mean, it's a shitty thing to kind of see, but ultimately, I don't know. I feel like there's a world out there where maybe we give John Collins a year, you know, now that I'm kind of taking over here, and see what he does. I mean, ultimately, if he plays more like this than he did like this, and we'll go from there. But I think I'm going to give John Collins a year. I think he's a good player ultimately. He's going to kind of find his rhythm again. And then I'm a little bit TBD on what I want to do at, you know, the rest of this power forward spot, because we have two guys here in Bay and Johnson who can both play. I just don't know if there's really a situation I can get all three of them minutes, and then I'm good with Okongwu and Capella. So I'm going to move on from some guys that are not going to play right now and potentially get myself some draft picks. I think that's a really important thing to do. I know I kind of mentioned this earlier in the video, but yeah, you got to reload on these draft picks. Got to have assets if we want to make a major move at some point in time. So first round pick from the Clippers is fine by me, and then we have two other small forwards with Krejci is one, and we'll move that for a future pick from Cleveland. And again, I'm just trying to recuperate some assets here, trying to go ahead and see what we can do. Thank you very much, Sacramento. Okay, so that's 4 first-round picks that we just got for guys that weren't even going to crack the rotation. So at this point in time, if I can find the right trade, I could make it. If not, I'm leaning towards giving John Collins a season, but I'm not going to overpay for somebody right now, but we will see. I was not planning on doing this, but we're at the start of year 1 right now. Like, we're not in the offseason anymore, and I just glanced at trades for John Collins, and this came up. And Bam Adebayo is an incredible player, and I think he's still underrated in this league, especially his defense. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to acquire him. I'm going to get Bam Adebayo here, which, you know, you might be saying you have Clint Capella. Well, it's Bam Adebayo. I'm going to take this trade. So it's a huge move. I'll explain a little bit more why I'm doing it. I think Collins in the long run is just, I don't know. I said it before. I don't know if he can bounce back to this, and if he did, he'd obviously be a long-term option for me. But honestly, I think this team's good enough to win right now, and I'm not going to risk it. So Bam's going to come in. We also are moving on from Saddiq Bey, who is a good player, but he's just a free agent at the end of this year, and then our first-round pick. So we're moving on from Bam. That trade is done. We now need to find ourselves a power forward. I mean, in terms of our power forward options now, we have Jalen Johnson. I don't know if I'm exactly comfortable starting him for the long-term run, so I think it's better to move on from Capella now. We still have Onyeka Okongwu here, so we're not done making trades, apparently. I guess Miami's just going to make my life easy, so we're just going to take John Collins right back. So, I mean, I guess hypothetically include Clint Capella and Saddiq Bey in that trade, and we basically got Bam Adebayo for Saddiq Bey, Clint Capella, and a first-round pick. That's kind of crazy. But John Collins is going to be back. I'm standing by my statement. I still don't know if he's a long-term answer, but he will be here for now. And, yeah, some changes have happened to this team. Let's set the rotation. I'm honestly a little bit surprised we were able to pull off that trade, and I'm honestly pretty happy about it. I mean, if you really think about it, I know I just said this before, but we gave up Clint Capella, Saddiq Bey, and a single first-round pick for a really big upgrade in Bam Adebayo. So I'm very happy I made the trade. Here's how the team's going to look. It's Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Bam Adebayo, the bench unit, AJ Griffin, Onyeka Okongwu, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Jalen Johnson, and Carson Wallace are, 15th overall pick? Yes, he was, so he'll be backing up Trae Young. Between how good I think this team already is and how big of a fan 2K is of them, I think we should definitely be in the mix for the top team in the Eastern Conference. See you guys at the end of year 1. Year 1 ends, and we go 66-16. Yeah, 2K is a very, very big fan of this team. I'm not saying we're not a good team, because we really are. I do believe that, but 66 wins might be a bit much. Jokic wins his 3rd MVP. Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year. Jordan Poole, 6th Man of the Year. Dude, what in the fuck has happened to Jordan Poole? Like, I genuinely don't know. I mean, Steve Kerr's basically saying he's unplayable. I mean, the man Literally didn't score a point last night, or well, 2 nights ago when you're seeing this. But Jesus Christ. Giannis wins DPOY. Tyler Hero most improved. Quinn Snyder takes home Coach of the Year for us. We obviously have some championship aspirations right now. And we take the 1 seed here in the East and best record in the league by 4 games. All right, let's take a look at the numbers right here. See who did what. Trae Young was incredible for us. 27 points, 13 assists. Beautiful. DeJounte Murray was great. Bam Adebayo, John Collins, DeAndre Hunter, Griffin, Bogdanovich, Wallace. Okay. I can live with it. Rebounds was Bam and assists was Trae. Who do we have in the first round of the playoffs? It's going to be the 8 seed New York Knicks. Oh, God. I mean, if we had to run back the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks, I can't even imagine. But it's just, they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. But I really do think we're better. And I think we're ultimately going to have the same result as we had. What was it, the first round? 2021? I believe it was the first round. That Atlanta ended up beating the New York Knicks. We do end up winning. Oh, shit. Didn't mean to do that. We do end up winning in 6. We have the Celtics here. So a rematch of last year's first round. They are starting Trey Lyles, which is a interesting move. I'd probably start either Marcus or Derek and then play JT at the 4, but that's just me. We go up 1-0 on them. We are 1-1 with them. So they definitely have the best player in the series. That's the tricky part. And wow, they went out and they proved that. Okay, it's crazy because when I do a rebuild and I try to face the Hawks, it seems like it's a lot more challenging to beat them than it just was right there. Yeah, you have a really interesting finals coming up right now with the Hawks and the Celtics. Let's simulate through it. And the Celtics going to win to 5. JT Finals MVP. All right, off-season number 2. In terms of moves we're going to make, I don't know if there's a major one coming. If it's the right major move, then I'll obviously make it. I think that Sacramento pick has some protections on it. I'm not going to get too excited. It does. It's at number 6. I really do think, I mean, maybe, I don't know where it would be. It would either hypothetically be at the power forward spot or the small forward spot. I mean, those are my obvious only 2 options for, you know, a crazy, didn't mean that, like a crazy major move. But, I mean, I don't really know if that's what this team needs right now. I don't. We'll see. If the right one comes along, we'll do it. If not, we're going to stand pat because I do think this team is very much good enough to win a championship. So we're going to give Onyeka Okongwu a qualifying offer. We have DeJounte Murray here as a free agent as well, and then Bogdanovich. These are obviously some pretty big free agents for us. So I'm going to pay DeJounte. He was actually pretty good for us. And then in terms of Onyeka Okongwu, he wants around, oh, Jesus. It's a lot of money for a backup center. It really is. Bogey, I will re-sign for now. He also could be a trade piece just because he's 31. He might start to regress. But Onyeka Okongwu, that is definitely a decent chunk of change for a backup center. But I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying that's a lot of money. So we will see what we do with him. I'm probably going to pay him for now and then maybe move him at some point. But it's a lot of money. All right, cool. So we officially have this team. I'm going to look for a trade. If the right one doesn't come up, I won't make it. I don't know. Let's see what we can find. I'm going to try to trade for Karl-Anthony Towns. I don't know if it's going to be a good idea, and I don't really know if it's going to work out. But you know what? I haven't traded for Cat in a minute. He's been playing really well, and I'm going to try it. I don't know how it's going to go. Okongwu has to be in here to make the money work. Ultimately, I don't want to pay a backup center $25 million a year. I'm just not going to do it. So, you know what? I'm going to try to get this to go through. I don't know how bad Sacramento will be next year. I honestly didn't think they were even going to be bad this year. I mean, I don't know if this team's going to suck, but you know what? I don't really need the draft pick, so I'll take the pick. All right, that's a huge trade, but we get Karl-Anthony Towns. I don't know how he's going to fit in this lineup next to Bam, but it is 2K at the end of the day. We can probably make it work. So, yeah, our backup center option now is going to be Billy Hernan-Gomez, which isn't necessarily great, but it's good enough for now. We'll probably upgrade that and potentially our backup shooting guard option at the start of next offseason. So, huge move was made. We're all set. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. All right, we are now officially here at the start of year 2 in Atlanta. We won 66 games last year and came up short. We lost to the champions in the Celtics, but again, you win 66 games, you don't want to go out like that. So we made a huge move acquiring Karl-Anthony Towns. I don't know how it's going to work, but we will see. It's going to be Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Karl-Anthony Towns, Bam Adebayo. The bench units, AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson, Billy Hernan-Gomez, Bogdanovich, and Carson Wallace. So the bench it's good. It's not great. It's good though. Hopefully it holds up enough. But this starting lineup is beautiful. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. Year 2 comes to a close as Luka Doncic wins his first career MVP. In terms of our record, it was 1 game better than last year. We go 67-15 this year. So obviously that's probably good enough for the 1 seed here in the Eastern Conference, and we just got to go out and win the damn thing. Bronny James, Rookie of the Year. He is in New York. In this hypothetical, maybe LeBron would be joining him in New York. That would be crazy. Simons wins 6th Man of the Year. Almost said Simmons. In Portland, Mitchell Robinson, Defensive Player of the Year, also in New York. Taylor Hendricks, Most Improved, and Quinn Snyder wins Coach of the Year for the 2nd straight year. So, it is time. I mean, it's got to be time at this point. Wow. 50 wins, take the 1 seed in the West. It is very competitive. In terms of points per game, it's Trae Young. Karl Anthony Towns was good for us. It's a clear upgrade over John Collins. Murray, Bam, Hunter. I mean, good-looking team. Rebounds, Adebayo, and then the assists was Trae Young. So, all right, Toronto here in round 1. Good team. I don't know if I really see. I mean, Siakam's great. Scotty Barnes appears to be good. There's no superstar here. There's really not at this point in time, anyways. This team doesn't move me too much. We sweep them. Philadelphia here. Definitely have a superstar here in Joel Embiid. You can maybe make an argument for James Harden still being up there. They also added Klay Thompson, which is just terrifying to see on paper. Okay, well, this is definitely a challenging second-round series. I don't want to go out in round 2 again. We're up 3-2, and we're going to Game 7, and we're in the Eastern Conference Finals. Taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, one of my least favorite teams to play. You guys all know that. I'm hoping we get the better of them. These are 2K's 2 favorite teams right now. We're down 3-1. That's not great. All right, we're going to Game 7, and wow, we come back from being down 3-1, and we're going to be taking out... Dude, Anthony Edwards, I swear to God, every time I see this man win a Western Conference Finals MVP, he's averaging at least 38. He just averaged 42 points in 7 games. I would like to see some box scores here. 36. How do I go to the full box score? Oh, next box score. 48. 54. 40, 34. I mean, it's just ridiculous. All right, well, let's take it game by game with the Timberwolves right now. We obviously can't hop in because we'll get 2K spinning Wheel of Death and we sweep them anyways. And Trae Young is your finals MVP. Okay, well, that was obviously a stressful playoff run. We were down 3-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Came all the way back and then won the damn thing. Draft lottery time. I don't think we're going to have any picks in this year's lottery. Wow, that Kings pick did end up being a really good pick. I didn't think it would be, to be honest with you. It's in Minnesota because we traded it for Karl Anthony Towns. So that one's going to bite us in the ass. It ends up being the 3rd overall selection. Sure, that would have been nice to have right now. But at the end of the day, did we really need to have that pick? I mean, there wouldn't be much I would do with it. Maybe there would be. We have 26 from the 76ers. I'm just going to give them their pick back. And then we'll head up to team player options right now, where we're going to bring back both of those guys. Qualifying offers. Jalen Johnson is definitely a piece I want to get back. I do want to look to improve this bench a little bit. It's definitely a big priority for me. It's the final year, so you're getting qualified, Jalen. And then let's look at some guys that are going to be here that we could potentially bring in. I definitely think a new backup shooting guard is an idea that I definitely want to do. Luke Kennard is 28. Chris Duarte's here. It's not a bad option. Didn't even play last year. Kennard. Karis LeVert's 30, though. You know what? I'll bring in Luke Kennard. He's a sniper from three-point land, and yeah, he's going to be my new backup shooting guard. Then in terms of centers, I don't love those options. You know what? I'm going to sign Gabe Vincent. I'm feeling scummy right now, so I'm going to sign Gabe Vincent, and then I'm going to include Gabe Vincent in a trade with Billy Hernangomez. We're going to find a slight upgrade at our backup center spot, and I'm very happy with that move. So let's make the trade. In terms of centers right now, I don't need anybody great. I mean, we only have a $6 million budget, so that does kind of limit us. But Mo Bamba, honestly, it's not a crazy upgrade, but you know, at least he's 4 years younger. We'll make the move. All right, that is it for now. We are, oh, I forgot about Bogey. I could have included Bogey in a trade. I am a complete and utter dipshit. All right, well, that's on me. I don't need him, so I'm just going to let him go. He's 32. He's going to regress. I know he is. I'll see you guys at the start of the third and final season. Fresh off a championship, and we are looking to run it back here in the final season and hopefully end up with another one. It's going to be Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mr. Bam Adebayo as our starting center. Funny enough, the game actually wants me to start AJ Griffin over DeAndre Hunter, and I don't hate that idea, but I like DeAndre Hunter, and I also like AJ Griffin. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my mantra, and I'm not going to change it. So AJ Griffin will be our sixth man, followed by Carson Wallace, Jalen Johnson, Luke Kennard, and Mo Bamba. I'll see you guys at the end of the third and final year. We go 73-9 in our final season, tying the best record in NBA history. More importantly, Giannis is in New York, and he wins an MVP award. Jesus Christ. Justin Edwards, Rookie of the Year. Matas Buzelis, sixth man. Victor Wembanyama wins Depoy. Bronny James, most improved. You got Bronny and Giannis. Good God. Quinn Snyder wins Coach of the Year. All right, I am definitely looking to win another championship. Wow, the Knicks are a play-in team. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, we had the best record in the league, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. In terms of numbers on the year, Trae Young, Murray, Towns, I mean, it's just doesn't matter. Just got to win the games. Let's see. Who we got in round one? And funny enough, obviously, why wouldn't it be? New York Knicks. This is a very, very good team. It's a good defensive team as well. Let's see what ends up happening here. In the first round, we're up 3-0, and we sweep them. Okay. Celtics here in round 2. We lost to them, actually. How did Lauri Markkanen get here? How the fuck did... Okay. 21 million, 46 million, 40 million, 40 million. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, I don't know if we're the better team. I mean, I think we are, but I guess it doesn't matter. And then, obviously, to anybody surprised, we're taking on Cleveland once again here in the Eastern Conference Finals, because I'm sure as shit not. We're 1-1 with them right now. We go up 2-1, 3-1. We are back in the NBA Finals. We're going to be taking on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the OKC Thunder, who are a good team. Added Malcolm Brogdon, 6th Man of the Year winner. Let's see if we can beat them. I would love to get another championship and cap this one off in a very high note, and I think we can hopefully do that. I don't know if it's going to be this game because we started off really slow. No. Okay. Shit. I'll hop in there. The thing that makes me nervous right now is that I don't know if I can hop in. The problem lies because if I hop in and I lose, obviously we're not eliminated and we have another game, but I'm going to get 2K spinning wheel of death and I'm never going to be able to see what ends up happening. But even if we lose this game, I'm going to assume we win the series. We're up 3-0. I don't think I can blow that. So, you know what? Let's see if I can clutch it up. I'll see you guys in there. Down 1 with 1:42 to go here in Oklahoma City. We are trying to sweep the Thunder out of their own building here en route to our 2nd straight championship. I think this would be a great way to end it. Hits the free throw, and we are, yeah, man, I'm a little nervous. I'm not even going to lie to you guys because we are in a very big moment right now. Is that Reggie Bullock in the game? What? Trae Young, let's fucking go, baby. Wasn't a 3. I was hoping to get the 3 off. We couldn't get it to go, but Trae Young still hits the long 2. And now we just got to play lockdown defense against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which I'm sure is a very easy thing to do. Oh, shit, he's going to cook me, isn't he? Oh, I don't actually hate that defense. Oh, man, that sucks. That's really shitty. So I'm assuming Shai's just going to hit both of these. I don't really think there's really going to be much question about it. And, yeah, that was Reggie Bullock. Please insert Jalen Johnson. Who fouled out? Did Karl-Anthony Towns really foul out in this situation? Not exactly ideal, but I guess this is why you have depth. Down to 120 here in Game 4. I'm going to use a pick right here. Trae Young, wide open 3, puts it in. Let's fucking go. Up 1 here in Game 4, and I am feeling good. Got to clamp SGA. Oh my God, this man is just cooking me. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be a scumbag and play off-ball D because I want to watch my team win the championship. I don't want to have to assume that we won it, even though 95% positive that we wouldn't have ended up blowing a 3-0 lead. That's got to be a foul, right? Wow. I do not know how that was not a foul. We're under a minute left to go. Jalen Johnson, kick it into Bam Adebayo. Bam, go. Go to the rim. Okay, seriously? Okay, that was not working. I don't care. Shit. Bad shot. I thought there was more space than what there actually was. Shai's going to go to the rack. Pull-up jumper is good. Oh, man. Okay, I don't want the timeout. I do not want the timeout. Trae Young, we can almost get a 2-for-1, but we don't really need it here. I did not mean to do that. Jalen Johnson puts it in. OKC timeout, 23 seconds left. What a play. I didn't mean to pass with Trae. I tried to hit square. I hit X accidentally. All right, so we need a defensive lineup in this game right now. What does that look like? Inserts Carson Wallace, which honestly is a little bit of a risk, but you know what? If they hit it, I have a timeout anyways. So I'm putting Wallace in for Trae Young. I think this is a good decision. Hopefully it works out. Trae Young is not the guy I want trying to clamp down SGA right now. He's just really not. I hate to say it. So Wallace is in the game. I almost wish DeJounte Murray was on him. We're playing very tight defense. It looks like they want the last shot. They're going for it all. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going to the rim, and he puts it in. Timeout. Oh, I choked. I tried to cover 2 different guys because Wallace got put in the pick. And, yeah, ultimately couldn't get it to go. But we're going to put Trae Young back in the game, get all the starters in here. We have just under 9 seconds left to go. I know who I want taking the shot. Let's see if we can just get it off in time and find the right play. Trae Young drives to the rim. He goes up for the layup. Contact, no call. And OKC survives. We are going to a Game 5. that unfortunately we are not going to see, because I know I'm going to get the 2K spinning wheel of death. At least I'm assuming I'm going to be, and that's a damn shame. We'll double check. I'm just assuming this is probably going to be happening. It always does, and yeah, it happened. Son of a bitch. We're up 3-0, though. I'm assuming we could find at least one win in those next 4 games. You would hope so anyways. I knew that was the risk going into the game. Yeah, I kind of blew it, but ultimately I didn't think I played terrible. But, you know, it's still on me. It's my bad. But, you know what? I'm going to say we won 2 championships today. If you guys have a problem with that, it's fine. But we built a hell of a team and I had a ton of fun doing this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one as well. If you did, leave a like down below. That would be awesome. Of course, you guys are new around here, have not yet subscribed to the channel, we'd love to have you hit that sub button, join the community. But yeah, man, other than that, we have the rest of this week planned out in terms of what videos we're doing. But after that, we have many, many ideas. We're obviously going to be getting into some of the off-season stuff. I know these are off-season rebuilds, but I more so mean, you know, the draft coming up. We have free agency. I'm sure some trades will happen. And along with that, you guys want some 5-year rebuilds, and they will be coming. I promise you guys that. So, as always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.